All right, I created the club sign-up form for the Southern kids. When they fill out this form with their name, they pick their grade level. Depending upon which grade level they choose, it'll move on to the different part of the form for that specific grade level. So I chose 8th grade. And then these options are actually coming dynamically from a spreadsheet, and I'll show you that in a minute, where the kids can come here and select whichever club they want. And they can choose the second club there. Again, we'll change these names when you have the club names. I'm also given the option of having them say my first choice is enlisted because it's full. What we're using here is some calculations in the spreadsheet to dynamically populate these choices. And then once the number of people that choose a different club, they will be removed from this list automatically. And that's when a kid would say, hey, my first choice is enlisted here. I'm going to select my second choice in the next question, or my first choice in the next question. So I'll just continue to fill this one out. Show you the back end of things. So club 8, 2, 3 there. Can add some comments if they'd like to say something. And again, when they submit, they'll be receiving an email from this form with kind of like their receipt. So again, we're using the add-on Form Ranger, which is in a form at the top. Let me just scroll up. It's working here. Come back to that. So you can see I filled this out a few times just to show you that, okay, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So first time I filled it out, my choice was enlisted. So there's my first choice. So we can filter on this and pull out that data if kids are missing the clubs they want it. So basically it goes across the spreadsheet like this, so you can filter and sort. And we could even do some VLOOKUPs to pull out the club names and start a roster if you'd like to, once all the data is in there. So basically each tab across the bottom has the choices listed. So here's the 6th grade choices. I put this in yellow because this is the only place you should be changing everything. Everything else is based upon what you put over here for club names. So this is where you do like your RC cars or your droid or drones or chess club, etc. You'd put the names of the club over here. It'll automatically update what's over here. So if I do say drones, it automatically will say drones. And then once we do update the form with the names, that'll automatically populate in there too as well. And also we'll keep tallies on how many people have registered. The second choice is just dynamically reference. If you see here, it's actually just referencing those choices. So we want all the choices to be there, because if they are removed because they're full in the first choice, there's no way for the kid to say, hey, my first choice isn't listed. So we need to list all the choices in the second and third choices too as well. So they're really just a copy of this first column, but I had to make different sheets because Form Ranger, I didn't want Form Ranger to include this one in the second choice. Like my first choice isn't listed here, so that wouldn't make sense for it to be listed in the second choice. So basically just reference those things in yellow. So when they're changed, the second choices will change and the third choices will change also for each grade level. And it's basically the same thing straight across. Over here is where the tallying is happening. So you see that my first choice for grade 7, if I flip over to that sheet back to responses, so grade 7, club 10, should have been my first response for that 7th grade kid. And there it is there. My first choice was grade 7, club 10. So that's how it got a tally here. So now there's only 24 spots available. Once this number exceeds this number, then basically this will disappear. And then that will make the form update and not have that as an option for the first choice. But again, if this is gone for the first choice because too many kids registered for it, we still want it available for the second choice. So this isn't referencing that dynamic list. It's referencing the static list. Again, we just work in the yellow. Everything else will take care of itself. Hopefully that helps. This first iteration, we can sit down and talk about it. If you'd like to, just let me know. Thanks. Bye.